be continuing to learn how to conduct external research by looking at JSTOR's newest tool, which is the Understanding series. And this tool was made in collaboration with different teachers and different students as a new way to connect different primary sources with journal articles and academic research. So here we are on the main page of the Understanding series, and it is a beta project as noted at the top left-hand corner. This just means that it is currently still in the works, meaning different teachers and different contributions from students will allow them to really create a more organized and more informative website. So in this series, there are actually two ways that you can begin your research. The first way is through the simple search bar, where you can type in either the title of the text that you're going to be researching or the author's name. So for instance, let's pretend we are researching on Mary Shelley. We would type in her name, and below we can see the text that they have listed, which is Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. We would select that, and we could go from there with our research. The other option is to look through their different collections of texts and documents. So currently there are 3 collections. There is a Shakespeare collection, a British literature collection, and a collection on the King James Bible. So we're actually going to see here are all of the different elements of the Shakespeare, British literature, and the King James Bible all combined into one. And you can see all of the different plays, sonnets, the Psalms, anything that you would like to research further. It is all right here. And this is really helpful for students because it will allow them to really hone in on that particular text that they would like to be researching further in a more organized and uniform manner. So for the sake of this presentation, we're going to be looking at the Shakespeare collection because many students tend to read Shakespeare in secondary school or even post-secondary. So let's select Macbeth. And as you can see, you are privy to the entire written play, which is really amazing. Again, some students do not have access to the physical text, so this allows them to have that. As well, there is a jump to bar right here, and from here you can actually jump to different acts or different scenes, and this will provide the student with getting to that specific section of the play. So maybe they want to look at that part in more detail or any specific quotes in that particular section, which is really awesome. They don't have to scroll through the entire play to find that one quote. They can just go right to the act and the scene and do their research in a more efficient manner. So as you can see, as we scroll through, there are some numbers on the sides here in blue, and these obviously do not recall the line number as they are not in chronological order. These actually refer to the different references that JSTOR has in their archives, in which individuals that were writing these reference these particular lines of the play, which is actually even way cooler because now, instead of having to go through all of the different archives, you can merely find that particular quote that maybe you're interested in looking into further and find a reference that is actually related to that particular one. So if we look at this one line by Hecate, which is the close contriver of all harms, we can select that. And it will bring us to 5 articles that are quoting that selected passage. So we can see that it also highlights that particular line in a more bolded font. And we can see all of the different aspects of who these researchers were and why we might be interested in looking at them. So we're going to look at this one called Shakespeare and the C Words, and it will bring us to a new page in which you can actually see a preview of that particular text. So this will allow students to look through the different texts, really determine if it's beneficial for their particular research, or if it's not, they can actually not use the information and move on to another one that maybe will pertain to theirs. So that is everything for this. This is obviously an amazing tool and it's really beneficial, especially for students that are in English class or literature-based classes. And since, like it was mentioned, this is a beta project, things are always changing. So new literature and new types of literature are always being introduced. So it's really helpful to have this almost as a bookmark on the websites that students may be frequenting, and to always look back and see just how their differences are being implemented. So always remember, leave a comment or any questions that you may have in regards to this particular research, and I hope that you have fun with researching.